Hi guys, it's me Khandie. I am here in my studio, finally getting back into it now. The whole C rules are relaxed here. It's very messy, so forgive it. I'm going to talk to you straight up, yes you, about the mistakes that you will probably make like I did when starting a photographic business. And there's no shame in these, but I'm pretty much putting myself on burn here because I've made these mistakes. So the first thing you're going to worry about is setting yourself up properly. And when people go, well, that's really easy, I just tell people it's not. You need to have contracts in place, insurance, get your tax lined up, have things like backups ready. You know, like how are you going to store the images? How are you going to deliver the images? There's a lot of stuff that you'll learn along the way, admittedly, but you need to have an idea and have it projected and have it in your plan. And you need a business plan. I've said this before when I said the 5 things about, when I did the whole thing about setting up a photographic business in 2020. I'll link it somewhere. But this is about making sure you are prepared for what you're about to do. There's none of this, I'll just sort it out later, because at the end of the day, clients come back to you because of the client experience. And that's the top thing to remember. The client experience is the most important thing. Sometimes not so great photographers do really well because clients really enjoy the process of working with them. It's very easy. I know it sounds really weird, but that's just something that happens. It's all about retention of customers, okay? And a lot of our customers, if you're in wedding photography, you might find that you only deal with them once, but you need to make sure that when they deal with you, it's as slick and as professional as possible because they're going to recommend you to somebody else for sure, okay? The other thing, the mistake that people make is not treating it like a business. And that happens a lot because I've done it. It's where you kind of forget that you're meant to show up at your studio every single day when you're open, to just in case, you know, answer the phone, be here, have an answer machine set up, but also take care of it. I mean, right now I'm in cleanup mode again, but sometimes you don't answer your emails. You don't find yourself logging on. You think about, I'll just leave my social media for a couple of days. You have to get in the process of when you're self-employed that you need to be showing up at the office hours that you have advertised that you're available, and you need to be working in those hours. Even if it's not with a client, you need to start treating it as a business. And so many of you will not. There will be days, and I am the worst at this, I will slack off. I will give myself a day off and just not answer emails, which I think is a great idea, but then I forget that I haven't set up an autoresponder for people who are already sending me emails to have something to get back to them on. Don't let that ball drop. Over investing. Now, when we say investment, we're like, okay, that's cool. I want to invest in myself. I want to have it. Yes, but we don't need you to rush out and buy a shit ton of stuff. I did cover that in the video, though, that it's about like how to get better at photography. I'll link that too as well. Do not fall for the sales pitch of people, okay? We'll go to trade shows. We'll see adverts. We'll see YouTube videos where people have got the next big thing, and we'll all be wanting that. Outgrow your kit, essentially. Outgrow it. Don't get something and then underuse it. Outgrow it. I went and made the mistake of buying loads of soft boxes, and I have 2 soft boxes that I have not even used. Okay. And that is like, I need to now use them. Now I'm a bit more adult, mature in my business. I'm going to start using them. But at the time I had no use for them. I just saw someone using them and thinking that was how my photography was going to improve. It was not. I also saw everyone rushing off to buy the latest mirrorless systems, but then realizing for some of us that the mirrorless systems actually didn't have the capability that we needed for our photo. So they didn't have the dual card slot that so many wedding photographers wanted. I keep checking myself in this mirror. There's a mirror right here. And I keep thinking this eyelash is going to come off because I'm a bit glam because I had a TV interview. Less of that now, but more later on that. And people just don't. They just don't realize that they're spending all this money and they actually have to recoup the cost. You know, photography is a hard grafting job, as most jobs are. You know, I mean, I don't think all of us have mummies and daddies and millionaires or bankrolling us. Okay, so we need to make the money. So when you go off and you spend $6 grand on a camera, you need to make sure that you're making that money back before that wears out. So I always say, if you're going to upgrade anything, upgrade your glass, your lenses. And then when your lenses are good and you feel like, no, I want to have more, I want to go to full frame or mirrorless, upgrade the body then, okay? Don't rush off and get something. Don't buy these huge lenses. I've got a friend who owns this huge like telephoto lens, right? But never shoots anything with it. She just has it. And I was like, why? Oh, I just saw someone use it and I really wanted it. And I'm like, stop being a size queen. Go and get what you need because you need it, not because you want it. And one of the things I tend to do is put stuff in the basket. And then if I can find 4 shoots in my forthcoming month that I'm going to use that for, then I can justify it. But I actually have to have them in and not just speculating. And that's what I've done. It's like when I buy props for the studio. Like when I buy the bunny ears I've got here, I had at least 4 shoots I could use. That one, there was the Easter one because it's a boudoir one, but also it's kind of cute for Easter as well. And then I rotate them and sell them on. I sell lots of stuff on. Okay. I also make sure that I don't buy soft boxes anymore. I know that my Octobox is my most used one, followed by my Beauty Dish, and then my square soft box. That's about it. And yet I've got 6 others that I barely use. Don't tell anybody. Focusing too much on the competition. I've said this 100 million times. I said it in the video that I linked earlier about how to improve photography. Don't look at the competition. The competition should have no relevance on you. Don't directly copy them. Maybe make friends with them. God forsake, like there are people everywhere. Make friends with them. If you can't make friends with them because you feel a bit awkward, at least hype them like you hype yourself. Maybe you don't hype them to your clients, but you could still be involved and be like, hey. But also you might want to do a collab. You know, Jessica Kabasi did this whole thing where she had one model, 4 photographers, and they're all photographers. Some of them are even in her field of work, and yet she works with them. Competition is so like the be all and end all, because you'll start comparing yourself to them and you'll start worrying that you are not good enough because they're doing the shoot. Or you might have a client that comes to you and doesn't go to you but goes to your competitor, and then you feel like crap because of it. Stop thinking about the competition. Focus on you and your talent and your abilities, because let's be honest, they might be more experienced as a photographer, or they might not be as experienced as a photographer but better at marketing. You need to focus on what is you, okay? So don't make those mistakes in photography when you're running this business. Don't make those mistakes, okay? Oh my god, I can stay with this hair. Forgetting who your client is. Now, when you have a photography business and you first start out, you're probably going to be like, okay, so I want to just shoot with bloggers. That's it. Bloggers that haven't got the money or are going to bankroll you that much, okay? So you need to think about who your client is, like really niche it down or niche it down. I can't remember how the Americans say it, but really go hone in who your client is. It's going to be someone that you relate to ideally, because then you know how they think, right? You know the images that they're looking at, the magazines they go to. Like my clients are... often they're very individual. They have a clear sense of style as in their stuff, or they want to have that look, or they want to have that appeal. I'm not convincing my clients to do shoots with me. My clients are coming to me and saying, look, I really love what you did. Could you possibly do it for me? So the levitation shots I've done, I'll link another video somewhere, sure, if I can link, that I did with Luna, that clients were coming to me like, I never thought I could do it, so can you do it? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I pride myself on, making the ordinary extraordinary. And all I'm doing is encouraging my clients to see what I see in them. Okay? Oh, hiccups. So the idea is, don't forget who your client base is, because what you'll start doing, if you forget who your client is, you'll start advertising to people who literally have no want or desire to be photographed by you, and you'll be wasting money, wasting time, wasting resources. Hone in who they are, and that's how you build your business model. Now, your client can change over the years. When I first started, I was like, I'm just going to focus on families. They're going to be mum and dad, dad and dad, mum and mum, you know, and we're all going to be just chill, and they're going to be really cute, and they're all going to be tonally matching. Those days are gone for me. Now I have these crazy, amazing clients who are wanting to do, like, happy for me to whack out the lens, baby lenses, and do these creative lenses, images with their stuff. They love that I have tattoos and I dress a bit funky, and we do selfies on, like, hey, we had a great shoot, and they know that I'm going to do these dynamic poses, or I'm going to do this with them. They love that, and that is where I'm aiming my client at. Now, don't get me wrong. If a client did come to me and they wanted a family portrait, I still do family portraits, but I do them never in the studio if I can help it, because this is a very sterile environment. If you have youngsters, I think that youngsters are much more happier outside in an environment that's more healthy for them, more familiar to them, so they can feel like they're running around. And then it reminds my clients of the personalities of their children and why they love it, and there's precious time they can just interact with their kids, and the kids don't feel under pressure to perform and be in this environment. That's just how I do my business. It doesn't happen to be for you. But remember who your client is so you don't waste time and resources. Pricing yourself. So many people write about this and don't understand. You need to work out your cost of doing business, but more importantly, you also need to know how much money you need to make to pay for your bills when you're at home. So you work out your bills that you've got to pay at home. Then you have to look at that and look at how much your photography business is going to cost you. And I mean, get down to the nitty-gritty numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Get down to the nitty-gritty numbers. Get down with them. You work out how much your licensing fee is for your software that you use, you know, your camera equipment, your consumables, the coffee you might provide at your studio, the lights, how much they cost to put on, all of that. Put it in a spreadsheet and look at it and go, right, that's how many times. How many times do you want to shoot a week, ideally? How many times would make you comfortable that you have to chase? How many headshots do you want to be doing to get that money? Put it that way, because you need to get down with the maths and you need to figure out the costs, because there's so many people who go, I just got a photographer and he only charges me 30 quid and, oh, £30, sorry. And he gives me like 100 images. Okay, great. But that client is never going to come back to you for this eyelash, man. That client is always going to see you as that 30 quid photographer. Okay. When you start putting your prices up, she'll be like, excuse me. And you'll be like, well, obviously when I started out, it was this cheap, but you were more likely going to lose her. So if you start off with a price that is more realistic and slowly increase over time as your costs go up, because costs go up every single year, if not every single month, you are going to then get a better client who is in client retention, because she realizes that you're open and honest, but also she gets good value for money because she sees value from the start. If you give them 100 images at £30, they're not going to pay £30 for 50 because you've halved it. You know, they're not going to say, well, I'm not paying 30 for 4 now because I just get 100 before. So you need to really figure out what you're doing. Now, that doesn't mean you don't do time for print or time for content or whatever, where you do essentially free, but you give them images in return for certain things. But you need to actually think about the cost, because so many businesses will fail in the first year because they don't understand the true cost of doing their business. Okay. Anyway, I hope these tips help. I'm going to sort this eyelash out. Look at the state of that, man. It's like, oh, it's very long as well. And I'll see you all real soon. Thank you for sticking with me. I know this was a bit late going out, but I'm not even going to apologise for that because I've been really busy. So I'll see you all real soon. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Please subscribe. It makes me happy. I'll be honest, it makes me very happy. Very happy. And I'll do some more shoots soon. Take care. I hope you're all safe. And if you've got any tips and ideas and mistakes that you've made, whack them in the comments below. And we can all agree with you, because we've probably all made them as well. Sharing's caring.